What happened to my voice there? Good morning, live from Los Angeles. It's mornings LALate. The toast is toasting, the butter is buttering. I'm here, you're here. And wow, guess who I saw last night? Last night at the Casino, I saw your beloved favorite person, Sirloin. I walked up to the Casino. I was sitting at the bar having some $12 ice cream. Well, it was on sale at $10.99. And I was sitting there, and Sirloin walked up and said, "Can you move all over the way?" Yeah, Sirloin, what's going on? How are you? Haven't seen you in a while. Well, where you been? You haven't been here. Were you suddenly, Joe is in and you don't want to come to the casino anymore? I'm like, no, I've been very busy. There's 22 items in the third stimulus package. I've been going through with viewers with these new PDFs, and there's a lot of delicious items in the third stimulus package, 22 items. And he's like, well, the stimulus check has gone out. And like, yeah, the second stimulus. No, 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 no. The third stimulus check has gone out. No, no, the third stimulus check has not gone out, Sirloin. Oh, yes, it has. I've watched other channels. They said just gone out. Multiple stimulus checks happening this week, just signed. I'm like, wait a second, Sirloin. There is no third stimulus check that's gone out. They haven't even signed. They don't even have the bill. How could they have gone out? They said it on the other channels, LA Late. I saw this one guy, he's doing this thing with his finger, and he says MSC just signed. Another person said $2,000 stimulus check just signed. Another person said just sent out $2,000 stimulus check. And another person said happening this week, $2,000, bigger checks. I'm like, it's not a bigger check, Sirloin. It's a smaller check. We were promised actually $3,400. We were promised $1,400 and a $2,000 stimulus check, and suddenly, we're getting smaller checks. Who's telling you what are these channels saying that all these stimulus things passing when they haven't passed? You need to go look, LA. I will drive you there. And you know what? If you find these people, I will take them on the driveway to the highway to nowhere. Nancy Pelosi's My Way or the Highway. I will take them where they're going. And that's what happened last night. That's what happened last night. Sirloin alerted me to the fact that apparently there's a lot of confusion out there coming from channels that are flatly just lying to you about what's going on with stimulus. Today's Sunday, as you know. Today's God's day. So, can I have an amen as we go back into what the scripture says, which is not to do the devil's work and to actually be truthful about everything that's going on? And suddenly we have to deal with politicians that aren't truthful to us, and now we have to deal with YouTube channels that are actually not truthful to us. And I went and looked, and I was just sort of shocked by what Sirloin told me. I was really, really shocked. Those details coming up. But first, if you've not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe. Costs nothing to subscribe. Today is we're 24 hours away from our 9-month anniversary. Tomorrow is the 9-month anniversary of this channel. We are shooting for 100 million views in 9 months. No channel. Hey, Lou. Everyone, welcome Lou to the family. Welcome, and it's a purple power. Wow, we're starting off strong this morning. Everyone, welcome Lou to the wonderful family of LLA. Welcome, Lou. Tomorrow will be the 9-month anniversary of LA Light, and we're shooting for 100 million views in 9 months. No channel in the history of YouTube has ever done that. We are at 92 million this morning, so we're about 8 more million to go, and let's do it. And we can do it in the next few weeks, so let's get it going. So if you've not subscribed, please subscribe to this channel. It's free to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button under this video. Also, like this video. Meantime, hit the alert, the bell at the front of the channel, so you get alert when a new video goes live. And if you want to, also hit the member link to become a member like Lou just did. The member link is underneath the video where it says join. It's also in the description, and it's also at the top of the chat. Become a Purple Power member, Purple Hawk, or Calcino VIP, and get a shout out from me. And today I will be going over for you a new PDF. So I have a new PDF for you today. This is a lot of deliciousness. And with that, let me get back to what's going on. I was really shocked. I was floored. Today is the day of some people go to church and we talk about truth and we talk about being accurate. And, we're dealing with politicians that promised you multiple stimulus checks, promised you FPUC retro, promised you $200 a month on top of your SSI and SSDI, and yet haven't even talked about it since the transition papers. And suddenly we see these other channels that are just uh, lying, flat lying. One channel had a video yesterday. The image said multiple stimulus checks. That's the image, multiple stimulus check, and it said just happening. No, there is no multiple stimulus checks that are just happening. That's why we're pushing for hashtag MSC. Liar. Another channel had a video that said yesterday there was talk of this wonderful $300 a month check coming from IRS to people who have kids. No, that's actually not true, and that's actually worse news because a tax credit would pay you the money the very first day. Another channel said just passed $2,000, just passed $2,000. Another one said just signed executive orders $2,000 stimulus checks. There was no executive order last week about stimulus checks. Another one said happening this week, $2,000 stimulus checks. Liars, liars, liars. I saw no less than three channels flat, flat line about stimulus. I mean, the title was a lie, the content was a lie, the image was a lie. Everything was an absolute lie. Now, I can understand if you're a small channel and you're trying to get traction, that maybe you're going to go to some edges to do some things that are inappropriate. But these are big channels with 300,000 viewers, and they were flat line. And they should know better to have an image in their title that says multiple stimulus checks just passed, or to say just signed $2,000 stimulus checks, or going out. That's one of my most unfavorite expressions. Going out $2,000, or coming now $2,000. Let's make something clear. Something coming now or going out means that it actually has a bill and has been signed. Or we don't even have a bill. I mean, we don't even have a bill. Now, you could say that there's sometimes people that want to do optimism of something to occur. So happening soon is different than coming now. Happening soon, okay, maybe it's going to happen in the future. But these things have absolutely not even been put to a piece of paper. When we see a bill, then maybe you could say, oh, being talked about $2,000 stimulus check, but going out, happening now, lies, lies, flat lies. Signed $2,000 stimulus check, signed, just signed $2,000, just going out, coming now, happening now, multiple stimulus checks, and then people who take unemployment stories and make them a stimulus check. Unemployment is not stimulus checks. So people say, oh, guess what? $300 a month is a stimulus check. No, that's unemployment. That's not a stimulus check. Are we next going to call paid sick leave, $1,400 a week, a stimulus check? No, it's paid sick leave. It's called paid sick leave. So, there you go. On a Sunday morning, Sir Lionel woken me to the fact that, hey, I'm competing for views against people who are flat lying. So if you see them lying, give them a thumbs down and say, hey, you're a liar. You're a liar. That's just absolutely untrue news. Hey, Jill, how are you? Happy morning. Thank you for coming to Purple Hawk. How are you? I'm not going negative. I'm just being very to the point. It's just this is not a time and place. We're at January in the middle of the pandemic, bad month for the pandemic, and Jill just joined the room, so we should be celebrating Jill. But we also have to be aware of what's going on. That is just, and it's, the word clickbait suggests that you're drawing someone in to talk about something else. No, some of them were actually telling people that actually happened. So it wasn't that they were drawing them in and telling them something else. They were actually telling them that a $2,000 stimulus check was a sign. I just, goodness, just not true. Really, really, really not true. And it's you will see them in the search results of stimulus check or third stimulus check or second stimulus check, just signed, happening now, just became law, going out, happened today. Uh, really crazy. All right, so now let me turn to some deliciousness. Okay, so deliciousness is where we are today. We currently have 9 stimulus items. We have the first stimulus package signed in March of last year. We have the second stimulus package signed in December of last year. That one was a $600 stimulus check, $1,200 for a married couple, $600 for children, nothing for adult dependents. As you sit here right now, adult dependents still do not have an actual bill or law. But the third stimulus package is to propose to say, hey, let's get all adult dependents paid up to the point. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. So the third stimulus package proposes to pay adult dependents $3,200 to bring everyone up to point. But the third stimulus package, as to the stimulus check, here we have politicians lying to us. Now we have politicians lying to us. Why? Because we were told that there's a stimulus check in the third stimulus package. Now let's be very literal. Let's be very literal. A stimulus check is a stimulus check. Fixing prior stimulus checks is not a stimulus check. Um, if you have a flat in your tire and you go to the mechanic, they can put that little plug in the tire, that little plug they put in that little rubber thing. It costs $15, and they fix the tire. Or you can buy a new tire. Do you call that little plug that they put into the tire a new tire? No, that's not a new tire. It's a plug. It's a fix it. You're fixing the plug that goes into the tire. You spend $15 to put that little rubber thing into the tire. That's the fixing of the tire. Well, what is politicians doing now? They're trying to pass off a fix as a stimulus check. Liar. Joe Biden said there was going to be a stimulus check in the third stimulus package. There is no standalone, real, brand new 2021 stimulus check in the third stimulus package. Rather, what he's doing is taking a fix it from last year and passing that off as something new. That's not a stimulus check, Joe. That's a lie. And Chuck Schumer said that was not going to happen. In fall of last year, they were talking about different things. If you were around, probably as a viewer then, we were talking about the congressional resolution, the CR. There was no stimulus check, and so we pushed for a stimulus check. Then they said, okay, we'll do $600, and we're like, that's not a stimulus check. What is $600? That's too small. And they're like, yeah, it's sort of too small. But then they passed $600. It became law. It was law for about 4 or 5 days. And then they said, you know what, we made a mistake. It should not have been $600. President Trump was saying it should have been higher. Let's fix it. Just like the flat tire. The $600 stimulus check, you had a tire. It was $600. It was sort of flat because it's not particularly round. It's not a really correct stimulus. It's like one of those donut tires. It's like a tire that's not a real correct tire. It's a $600 stimulus check tire. It's not right. And they're like, you know what? You're correct. We need to fix that $600 stimulus check tire. And you know what? We'll give you a little bit more money to make it a real tire. Okay. Okay, so you're going to take away my donut tire, my sort of not correctly circular $600 stimulus check tire, and give me a correct stimulus check tire. Yes. Okay, we'll give you a $2,000 stimulus check. That's good. That was December 2020. Okay. So they didn't get it done. They said, oh, we're rushed, whatever. We will get to that stimulus check then with what happens next year. We'll get to fixing your December stimulus check next year. Okay, so now we're in next year. We're in January. They say, we're going to fix your stimulus check from last year. Oh, I appreciate it. We're going to fix your tire from last year. Oh, I appreciate it. The tire has still not been fixed from last year. So thank you for fixing my tire, my stimulus check tire from last year, the $600 one. So what are you going to give me as a stimulus check for this year? That's what I'm giving you. No, 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 no. That's fixing my check from last year. You're fixing my check from last year. What are you giving me for this year? Well, that's for this year. No, that was to fix last year. And so that's what's going on with the multiple stimulus. That's what's going on with the stimulus check, is that suddenly they're passing off a tire that was that needed fixing last year as something that is now as something that's brand new and delicious. No, you're supposed to get a new stimulus check this year. You're not supposed to get the fixed check from, you're not supposed to get the fixing of the wrong check from last year as your only check for this year. It's old trash. It is old trash. Absolutely well said, Denise. That's a great expression. They're giving us old trash as something new. They're giving us leftovers. They're giving us 2020 leftovers and saying, "Hey, I put a garnish of parsley on the side. It's now new." No, this is last year's thing. What are you doing? So moolah, that's not fair. It's absolutely not fair. So that's the hashtag. It's replenished. It's a refurbished. Yeah, they gave us a. It's not even refurbished. Hey Mary for the super chat. I appreciate it. So hashtag MSC. With 1,000 people in the room at 15-minute mark, we're zooming already. So thank you. Hashtag MSC. You see why we're not even. Let's be frank, folks. I mean, let's be frank. I'm not being negative. I'm being frank. We're not even at a hashtag MSC. We're not even at a hashtag SC. We don't even have one stimulus check in this. Now, people are going to tune and say, you mean there's no money coming to me in the third stimulus package? Yes, you're getting $1,400 an individual in the third stimulus package, and if you're adult dependent, you're getting $3,200. I'll say that again. Individuals are getting $1,400, married couple double it, children $1,400, everyone and adult dependents $3,200. But that's not something you should be excited about. You were supposed to get that last year. And this is not a down payment. That thing about down payment, which I told you was going to be a catch next year. And this is a little bit off base. So now let me turn to where we are at the 15-minute mark. Thank you for joining me. This is Mornings LA. Now it's your 15-minute mark of 1,000 people in the room, and the as John just said, not no multiple stimulus checks and so proven. Yes, and currently no new stimulus check and so proven. No stimulus check. It's Mornings LA. The toast is toasting, the butter is buttering. I'm here, you're here, and we saw sirloin last night at the casino. And he said, you know what? What's going on with people just not telling the truth anymore, whether it's politicians or YouTube channels? And yes, it's been out of control. And in this video, I'm going to go over why politicians are not telling you the truth about things. And it's time to start holding politicians accountable. Purple power is back, baby. Now, we're not going negative. We're not saying that there's nothing bad in the third stimulus package. There's 22 items that are very good, of which about 7 of them were taken out by executive order. And I'll be going over them in this video slower in a second. But there's things that are in the third stimulus package that aren't correct. And they're not correct because we were promised more if we voted for you as a candidate. And now that you've been elected as a candidate, as the winning candidate, give us what you promised us. And that's what we're holding you accountable for. And so now let's get to those details. If you've not subscribed, please subscribe. Subscribing is free. I answer people's questions 24/7, whether you're a member or non-member. I was answering people's questions in the middle of the night on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, all across the board. I answer people's questions everywhere. You don't have to chat with me to ask me a question. I answer people's questions. I've been doing this since day one. And tomorrow is the 9-month anniversary of this channel at 92 million views. No one in the history of this channel, no one in the history of YouTube has ever done this. We're shooting for 100 million. So make sure you watch the videos and let's get the traffic going, because I want to get that 8 million more. I want to get that to that 100 million. Also, like this video, and if you've not become a member, consider becoming a member. Membership link is in the description and also at the top of the chat. Become a Purple Power member, Calcino VIP, or Purple Hawk. And later today at noon, you're going to get a new PDF, which is the latest update, more deliciousness. All right, the next thing is obviously hashtag FPUC Retro. FPUC Retro is the one that's really sort of shocking. LLA, send me a friend request on Facebook. On Facebook, LLA is LA Late News as one word. FPUC Retro. This is the other one we're holding politicians accountable for. Are we suddenly supposed to say we're not going to get a boost from July to December? Why? You promised us FPUC Retro. And then now, why are we doing FPUC going forward at $400 a week when we were told, written in transition papers in December? In December, Joe Biden wrote in transition papers $600 a week. What happened to $400 a week? Are you afraid that you have only a one-person majority in the Senate? What, explain to us, Joe, why it's $400 a week. No, they just sort of do things and then they want you to act like it's always been that way. That's also very troubling. It has always been Nancy Pelosi asking for $600. At least Nancy's clear what she says. Nancy said in July of last year she only wants $600 for FPUC per week or else. FPUC is that add-on that goes on top of your UI or PUA. Nancy Pelosi said 9,000 times, $600 a week, not a penny less. Joe said $600 a week. Now Joe's saying $400 a week. Joe, do you mind explaining to the American people why you changed from 600 to $400? I would like an explanation, Mr. President. Why have you changed from 600 to $400 a week? Is it because you did not want as many Senate seats as you so wished? I don't understand why things sort of change and then they act like they never changed. You know what it is like? It's sort of like it's sort of like you go to church and there's your girlfriend and you haven't seen her since yesterday. Hey, Deetra. Hey, Deetra. Everyone welcome Deetra to the family. How are you, Deetra? Everyone welcome Deetra to the family. It's like you go to church and you see a girlfriend and she's suddenly wearing a wig that looks nothing like her. And I'm like, are you supposed to not say anything? Because that wig don't look like you, honey. Honey, that wig don't look like you. Well, this is what Joe Biden's doing. It's like suddenly he's walking in with a wig, and the wig is $400 a week. What happened to the real thing, the $600? Can I have an amen on this? Amen. You were supposed to get $600 a week. Joe wrote $600 a week. Now you're doing this. You're walking in with a wig that's $400 a week. Is tomorrow going to be, one of those disco plastic things you put on your hair, and it's going to be $300 a week? Can we get an amen on this? Amen. I mean, just what's going on here, Joe? Can you explain to us? Explain to us why you went from 600 to 400. I don't. I don't know. Now let's turn to the SSI and SSDI at the 12. Wow, at the 22-minute mark. At the SSI and SSDI, Joe Biden wrote in his transmission papers over and over again, line after line after line after line about what he was going to do for SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, and veterans benefits. He wrote in the transition papers. He did it on the campaign trail. He talked about it. He talked about it and wrote about it. The numbers were very detailed. The reason why I say on camera all the time up to 20% increase is because I say to you, it's too complicated. Joe wrote too much about it. It's too confusing to explain in a 30-minute video. So this is a case in which someone wrote a lot. Hey, Marcel for the emoji. Thank you for the emoji. So he wrote so much, he was so detailed. So now where we are, he's been elected. What has he said? Nothing. Nothing. Hasn't said anything. He hasn't said anything about SSI benefits, as Sharon just said. Excuse me. Yeah, Sharon. Sharon just said, we're waiting for SSI benefits from Biden. He hasn't said anything. And people ask me every day, what's the update? The update is Joe hasn't said anything. The update is Joe has not said a word. Now, what are the other YouTube channels saying? Great news, just signed, just happening. It's going out. No, it's not going out. It's not even mentioned. It's not even mentioned. It's just not even mentioned. Other YouTube channels going out, happening this week, in the mail, happening, coming right now. No, it's not even mentioned. And so there's a double problem when YouTube channels pass those lies off, saying it's happening. One, you think it's happening. Two, you're sitting back and not holding Joe accountable. And that's what you should be doing. Those YouTube channels should be saying, hey, Joe is silent about your benefits. Go to YouTube, go to social media and tag Joe and say, wait a second, you're silent. Why are you silent about this? Why are you silent about this? Now, let's be clear. I got it. You got a lot to do. You're coming in, you're doing a lot of stuff. But the $200 a month from now to December is Stimulus. It's stimulus. The $200 a month from now to December that goes on top of your SSI, SSDI, SSA, railroad benefits. And Teresa with the dancing pear. Thank you, Teresa with the dancing pear. And he's drinking his morning sangria. I don't know what that is. Or maybe it's Bloody Mary because he was at the casino too much last night. Uh, he's doing the stimulus bill now. He hasn't introduced it to the public, but he has written it privately. Well, Joe, you better have the SSI and SSDI in it because where else? Fruit punch. Okay, it's fruit punch. Where else are you going to do this, Joe? Where else are you going to do this, Joe? How do I do a hashtag a person? I don't use Twitter. I want to learn how to do it. Charles, very easy, Charles. Great question. If you're on a if your device that you use is a phone rather than a computer, you just download the app for Twitter. You go to Google Play on your phone and download the app for Twitter. Then I'll ask you to set up an account. Then when you're on account, you will open the Twitter app, and then a hashtag is hashtag. The button on your keyboard has a hashtag, and the words, and you put the letters right together. So it's hashtag FPUC, hashtag, excuse me, our hashtag campaigns are hashtag FPUC retro, hashtag MSC, hashtag SS200. Those are our campaigns, hashtag SS200. And that is how you write a hashtag. To tag a person, you do at, so you would do at Joe Biden or at POTUS, which is the presidential account. So that's how you do Twitter. There's Miss Jenny. She's killing it. Well, it's no, it's take out the A, Jenny. So it's hashtag SS200. There's Miss Jenny killing it. Hashtag MSC. There you go. And there's Christine showing the at symbol. Great news. I mean, Purple Power is back. There's Denise. There you go. Dennis, excuse me. Sorry about that. Dennis is is explaining it really clearly. I mean, that's the power of this family. Everyone really helps each other. The three campaigns are hashtag SS200, hashtag SS200, hashtag MSC, and hashtag FPUC retro. And then also add hashtag LLA, hashtag Purple Power. This is the time that you're doing the stimulus package. And these the $200 a month should be in there. It shouldn't be not in there. And the fact that he hasn't mentioned it, but is mentioning the environment. Okay, uh, you know, no disrespect to my environmentalists. I'm sure I have environmentalists watching me. I have environmentalists watching me. But let me just give you my opinion. Uh, the stim the benefits for people on Social Security and rail benefits, those need to be done today. They need to be done right now. The environment can wait a week. However much damage we've done to the environment, we can wait a week about the environment. The benefits need to be done immediately. The benefits cannot wait a week. Hey, Krista, how are you? The damage we've done to the environment can wait a week, but benefits can't wait a week. Let's everyone welcome Kisha to the family. Everyone welcome Kisha to the family. Thank you for becoming a member of this channel. And so that's why these things need to get going. It's important that we be accurate because if we're not accurate and we believe the things are in the mail, coming, just signed, just happening, then suddenly a few weeks go by and the stimulus package is done, and then you're like, there's nothing here. I thought you said it was coming. No, it didn't. It didn't get in there. And so this is why the Purple Power is pushing very strong right now. Three campaigns. All right, now let me turn to third stimulus. And also let me turn to second stimulus, and let me turn to executive orders. Hey, well, Vilma, welcome to the family. Everyone, welcome Vilma to the family. How are you? At the 30-minute mark, let me give you a big update where we are across the board. The big update is I'm about to start covering the executive orders that were signed into law last week. There were 7 executive orders that were signed into law that concern stimulus. They're now law. They don't concern a stimulus check, but they do concern stimulus, and they do concern money in your pocket, just not stimulus checks in your pocket. I will never refer to anything on this channel as a stimulus check unless it's a stimulus check. This is the insert for a stimulus check. Hey, Brandon, with the dancing pair. The dancing pair. A stimulus check is actually an economic impact payment. That's a stimulus check. Unemployment, not a stimulus check. SNAP, not a stimulus check. Internet, free internet, not a stimulus check. But Joe Biden did sign 7 stimulus items this week, which became law, bringing us to now to 9 stimulus items. I'm going to be covering them in 1 second. Meantime, I'm going to cover the things that are happening in second stimulus that could be going out next week. This is moolah for you. This is stimulus. Finally, I'll be turning to third stimulus at the 30-minute mark. I may talk a little fast. Hey, Michaela, I love that name. Wow, that's a great name. Everyone, welcome Michaela to the room. What a beautiful name. Some people say sometimes I talk a little fast. At the moment, I think I'm going to talk a little fast because I want to cover second and third stimulus in in less than 5 minutes. And executive orders. That's a big tall order. So let me give you the big. If you've not become a member, like Michaela, go to the member link. It's at the top of the chat, and also in the description. Become a Purple Hawk, Purple Power, a Calcino VIP. If you've not subscribed, please subscribe. It's free to subscribe. I answer people's questions across the board on social media as subscribers, so make sure you subscribe. Under second stimulus, there's some breaking developments going into next week. The breaking developments is that the unpaid $600 stimulus check may be landing. I showed you yesterday that the $600 stimulus check is now landing for about 25 viewers of this channel since Friday. So watch the mail and watch for a plain white envelope like this. This could have a debit card in it. You could also end up getting a beige envelope, which will have the $600 stimulus check in there. The other big developments for second stimulus is that the rent aid and utilities aid could be landing in your city and county next week. So get ready to pounce as a Purple Hawk. Get ready to pounce. Free internet and childcare is also still pending. Let's turn to those executive orders. 7 executive orders signed last week. Those 7 executive orders are the following. 1, SNAP is now extended at 15% increase for 12 months. Number 1. 2, PEBT is now national. PEBT is now national, and that is extended at 15%, I think, for 6 months. Number 3, eviction moratorium, which was set to expire in late December, is now extended, I think, to September. Now law. Number 4, mortgage forbearance is now in place. A mortgage forbearance, if you are federally backed mortgage, is now in place, I believe, to September. Now law. Number 5, if you work for a government contractor, which is a third party, it's not a government, it's a company, a private company that works for the government, like a landscaping company. There's a new minimum wage rule that you have to get paid at least $15 an hour, plus also paid sick leave. All right, those are the big stimulus items. Now let's turn to third stimulus. Third stimulus does not have a bill publicly. The bill has been written privately, and the bill provisions have been modified, and that's why I will be modifying this PDF for you today. Why have the bill provisions been modified? Because several of the items that I just mentioned to you were previously in the third stimulus package. They've been removed and made law by executive order. So what are the third stimulus items? $1,400 stimulus check for individuals, children $1,400, adult dependents $3,200. Again, that's a stimulus check, isn't it, LA? Why did you say there's no stimulus check? That's the stimulus check. Fix it from last year. You were owed last year. It's not a new 2020 stimulus check. So yeah, it is a stimulus check, but it's not a new 2021 stimulus check. It's a leftover, recycled old stimulus thing you were owed last year. FPUC going forward, $400 a week is what is in the bill. UI going forward, both to September, I think it is. PUA going forward, uh, business grant for new businesses, excuse me, for existing businesses. If you want a business grant, there's a business grant for new businesses. If you got an EIDL before, or you try to get an EIDL, or whatever happened with the EIDL, or you got a PPP, don't take yourself out of the running for this one. This is a new business grant. New meaning you can get it as well. Hey, Will Rivera. Everyone welcome Will to the family. Welcome Will to the family. 1,600 people in the room. Next, business loan. There will be a business loan if you want to start a new business. Brandon, Congress taking their time as usual. Yes, Brandon has a very good point. I haven't touched even on that point yet, that Congress is taking too much time to get this stuff done. There will be a business loan to go start a new business. This is really great news. Tia loves this, one of the members of this channel. Paid sick leave, $1,400 a week. Student aid supplement, $1,700 per child, per student. Hazard pay will be in there. We don't know much about it yet. Then we have the child tax credit. Let me just say two things, and we have the child tax credit, we have the earned income tax credit, and we have the child care tax credit. Those are on your PDF at the bottom, numbers 19, 20, and 21. I will repost these PDFs right after this video. What I want you to understand as a viewer of this channel, can it be a home-based business? We don't know anything about the eligibility of these things yet. 19, 20, and 21 are currently law, but Joe Biden wants to modify the law to increase the amount and increase the eligibility. Hey, Vanessa, everyone welcome Vanessa to the room. How are you? Everyone welcome Vanessa for becoming a Purple Hawk. This is why viewers of this channel are sophisticated, while other channels are flat line. Some channels yesterday were saying, Joe's going to pass this new thing called an earned income tax credit. No, it's been around for a gazillion years. Joe's just modifying the code to increase the amount or the eligibility. Other channels are saying that there's new stuff happening. What they're doing is they're watching me and they don't understand what these things are because they don't have, I'm working off of a very hard to get very few people got a copy of this. It was a 30-page summary of the third stimulus package bill. And so if you don't have the summary, then the best thing you can do is you can listen to me as another channel and try to figure out what I'm saying. And then you mishear me and then you try to repeat it to your viewers and misunderstand it. So they're saying that these things, these tax credits are new. They're not new. They're existing bills, the existing laws. What they're doing, Joe is doing, is he's taking existing laws and increasing the amount or increasing the pool. For example, let's say one of the items may be $2,000, Joe's making it $3,000. Or for example, one of the items may be up to age 16, then Joe's saying up to age 17. That's what Joe's doing. He's taking existing things and modifying it. So these are not new things. The great news is that you, as a Purple Hawk, are very sophisticated. And what you can do is when you see something on the PDF and you're like, I really like this thing. I want to know something more about it. Karen, my IRS transcript says it was sent out on the 18th, but it wasn't. Well, it may be in the mail, Karen. It may be in the mail. What I want you to know is that because you're sophisticated and smart, you know you can Google these things and read the current IRS details on each code. IRS actually has a page that's very, very helpful, very easy to read on each item that says, this is how you do it. This is what it is. This is what it's about. You can go read it so then you understand what the current code says. Very simple. And they write these so it's simple so everyone can understand them, like you and I. Because I'm not a tax preparer. I fully disclose I'm not a tax preparer. Ultimately, you consult with a tax preparer before preparing your tax return. This is not a tax channel. That's my disclaimer. And so you can read how these things work to understand how they are before Joe comes in and modifies them. No increase on the PUA. PUA is determined by your state. If you want to increase your PUA, you could do escalated benefits, which I haven't covered in a few weeks on this channel, which is you provide your state a copy of your 2019 tax return and say, hi, I think I qualify for more weekly benefits. That's all you say. I think I qualify for more weekly benefits. See if I do. If you made over $30,000 in 2019, you can raise your benefits about $300 a week. That's $10,000. If you made over $20,000, you can raise your benefits about $100 a week. That's about $3,000. And if you made over $18,000, you can raise your benefits about $50. That's about $1,500. Any information about hazard pay? No. Joe has given us 4 words about hazard pay. The only thing we have about hazard pay, at least, is the earned income tax credit. Number 20. Number 20. The earned income tax credit says if you made less than $21,000 in the prior tax year, then you can get and it was essential worker, you can get a $1,500 tax credit. Again, if you worked and it was essential worker and it was less than $21,000, you can get an earned income tax credit of $1,500. And there you go. Can someone answer the question, if you owe taxes and you file 2019 to 2020, will they intersect your tax refund? I don't know. I understand that question. I understand the question. If you owe taxes, you have to pay taxes. And if you don't pay the taxes, you'll have a tax penalty. Now, are you saying if a tax refund offsets a tax penalty? That's too complicated. That's a very complicated question. I wouldn't even know the answer to it. You have to look at at the numbers. It's very, very complicated. So there you are at the 40-minute mark. Wow, there's 1,600 people in the room. How do I apply for a business grant and what are the qualifications? We don't know. Great question, Michaela. Everything that I said in this video and everything that's on the PDF is all that we know so far from Joe. Joe hasn't told us anything more. So the reason why business grants on the PDF says number 13 business grants, doesn't say anything else, is because Joe hasn't told us. He hasn't absolutely told us anything. The amount, what's it called, hasn't told us a single word. And so when I know more, I'll certainly deliver it to you on camera as fast as I can. Finally, for those people who applied for the 2020 EIDL grant, the remainder of the $10,000 EIDL grant from 2020 is getting paid. The $10,000 EIDL grant that you were waiting for, either the remainder of your $10,000 grant or the total $10,000 grant, is now getting paid. It's first getting paid. Lisa's correct. Please give a thumbs up to this video. It helps with the algorithm. And also subscribe. Subscribing is free. Subscribing is free. And also share the videos and certainly tag your politicians on social media. The remainder of the $10,000 EIDL grant is first getting paid to people who are low-income community-based businesses. Then after that, SBA is going to get to all the other 2020 applicants who are not low-income based businesses. You will get paid. Finally, to end again with what Sirloin said, another lie. One channel that has a lot of views, and you know who I'm probably referring to, is telling viewers that under the current policy of SBA, you're only going to get $1,000. Dude, you know that's wrong. I mean, I don't know. I don't know why he says that. He just knows it's wrong. Other channels have called him out by name. I'm not going to do that. I'm a little bit more classy. But that channel, he just has said wrong stuff from 2020 about EIDL. Finally, he's also telling viewers to go, if you have a side hustle, to go get an EIDL again. Guess what? You do that, you're going to get prosecuted by the feds. I'm not joking. The Federal Reserve is now, the SBA is now checking for your tax return to confirm you had a Schedule C, to confirm the activity. And for a year and a half, he has told people to just go get an EIDL for a free money side hustle. Oh, you're gonna get in trouble. You're gonna get in trouble, so don't watch those channels. Tonya, welcome to the family. Welcome, Tonya. How are you? So at the 48-minute mark, can someone please tell me if we get the $1,400 if we don't have kids? The hazard the that's a question from the Instagram room. Someone's asking, do I get the $1,400 if we don't have kids? Well, there's two $1,400, unfortunately, in the third stimulus package. There's the $1,400 stimulus check. Yes, you would. And there's the $1,400 paid sick leave per week. Um, yes, the paid sick leave, $1,400 a week, is if you have COVID, or you have to quarantine, or you have to stay home because your family member's sick. The eligibility for that is that you had a job and you had to stay home and take care of those people. So yes, to answer your question, yes, if you qualify for those. Great questions. Is the rent rebate available for people on SSI? It is, King Rio. And finally, I haven't said that message in this video. If you need rent, don't wait for the second stimulus to land next week. Reach out to the volunteers right now. I see three of them in this live chat right now. Reach out to them in the community in the description of this video. Finally, if you've not subscribed, please subscribe. It's free. Like this video. Tag the politicians with your new hashtag campaigns: FPUC Retro, MSC, and SS200. And if you've not become a member, consider becoming a member. Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. Have a great morning. I'll repost the PDFs from yesterday, but a new PDF is coming later today. And I'll see you at 12 noon on Home LLA. Have a great day.